Yo, I'm Riley, aka Wrench, a teen tuning illegal cars in Phoenix. When a hot twin steals my heart and a rival crew hunts me, it's a wild ride of betrayal and races. Ready for the drama? Smash like, subscribe, and share with your squad. Let's roll. Here's the deal. I'm Riley Parker, 17, slinging burgers at Rusty's Diner in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona, where the sun's hotter than a TikTok roast and the vibes are straight-up desert punk. To everyone, my mom, my best friend Mia, even the cute jocks at Desert Ridge High, I'm just a chill girl who's good with a spatula. But that's a front. By night, I'm Wrench, the best underground car tuner in the valley, modding souped-up rides for illegal street races in a secret gara off Route 66. Think Fast and Furious, but with more grease and zero Vin Diesel. I've been pocketing stacks, $5,000 a job, tuning Mustangs and Supras for sketchy racers, saving up to ditch this dusty town and live free. Last week, I modded a Nissan Skyline that won a big race, and the underground scene was buzzing, but some losers started DMing me on a burner app saying, "Wrench, you're stepping on toes. Back off." Whatever, haters gonna hate. That is, until last night at the diner, I was wiping down counters, my AirPods blasting Doja Cat, when the hottest guy I've ever seen walked in. Like, Chris Hemsworth level fine, blonde hair, blue eyes, and a smile that could crash a server. He slid into a booth, and I swear the room got 10 degrees hotter. "Hey, can I take your order?" I asked, trying not to trip over my own sneakers. He leaned forward, grabbed my hand, and placed it on his chest. "Feel that, Riley? My heart's racing for you." Okay, what the actual heck? Dude, you good? I yanked my hand back, cheeks burning. This love at first sight crap, is it a dare or what? He grinned, all shy and cute. "No dare, I'm Jayden, and I'm dead serious." Wow. I rolled my eyes. Rich boys like him always think they can charm their way into anything. Cool story. Bro, burger or fries? But he just stared, like I was the Mona Lisa in a diner apron. Then he dropped a bomb. "Actually, I'm looking for my girlfriend. She came in here." My stomach twisted. Girlfriend? He showed me his phone, front camera, my face staring back. "Found her." He winked. I stumbled, knocking over a ketchup bottle. "You're tripping, man!" Jayden stayed my whole shift, tipping me $200 at 2 crisp Benjamins. I chased him outside. "What's this? Trying to buy me?" He smirked, climbing into a freaking Lamborghini. "Just wanted you to chase me. Riley, dream of me tonight." I was shook, lying awake all night, wondering if I'd just met a prince or a psycho. Next day at school, Mia ran up, her glittery backpack bouncing. "Girl, new guy alert! He's a total snack!" She's a senior, a year older, but we bonded over diner shifts and TikTok binges. "Chill, nobody's hotter than that rich dude last night," I said, sipping an iced latte. Then I saw him, Jayden, strutting down the hall like he owned it. "No freaking way!" I gasped. "What are you doing here?" "Just transferred," he said, kissing my hand like some old-school knight. "Fate, huh?" Mia's jaw was on the floor. "Spill the tea, Riley." I told her about the diner, and she went feral. "He's into you! Marry him like yesterday!" But I wasn't buying it. Jayden was too perfect, and perfect screams trouble. Sure enough, he started showing up at the diner every night, dropping flirty lines and big tips. At school, he'd carry my books, making girls whisper and glare. Mia was living for it. But I felt weird, like I was playing a role in his movie. One night, he asked me out. Dinner. Just us. Somewhere special. I said yes, mostly to shut him up. He pulled up in a Porsche, but instead of a restaurant, we stopped at a private airstrip. "Hop in," he said, pointing to a jet. "Best tacos in Tijuana." My treat. I froze. "Mexico? For dinner?" "Only the best for you, Riley." he said, tucking my hair behind my ear. I was floored but went along. The jet's leather seats screaming money. Over tacos. I called him out. Jayden, you could date models. Influencers. Why me? I'm a nobody. 501. Nobody. He looked serious. It's real. Riley, I want you, rich or not. His hand brushed mine, and I almost believed him. We started dating, hitting yacht parties and EDM raves, but I felt like a fish out of water, always dolled up, never myself. Something was missing, that spark my mom swore she felt with Dad, at school. I caught Jayden in the auto shop, but he looked different. Dark hair, a skull tattoo on his neck, and a vibe that hit me like a nitrous boost. I kissed his cheek, grinning. New looks fire, babe. He pulled back, confused. What? I laughed. It's me, your girlfriend. He scoffed. In your dreams, sis. My stomach dropped. Jayden, what's wrong? He glared. I'm Kade, his twin, and you're delusional. I stumbled back, heart racing. Jayden, real Jayden, ran up with roses. Riley, you okay? I stared between them, identical, but worlds apart. You have a twin? Jayden sighed. Yeah, Kade just got here. He's trouble. Kade smirked. She thinks I'm hotter. Bro, I dragged Jayden aside. Why didn't you tell me? Didn't think he'd show up. He said, stay away from him, Riley. He's bad news. But Kade was in my shop class now, sitting next to me, fixing a carburetor like a pro. Nice hands, he said, smirking. You know cars? I blushed. A little. That night, I got a text from a blocked number. Wrench, your secret's out. Quit tuning or your Gara burns. My blood ran cold. Someone knew I was Wrench, and they weren't playing. Kufhamed. So, there I was, Riley Parker, a.k.a. Wrench, staring at my phone in my cramped Phoenix bedroom, the glow of my neon skull lamp making that anonymous text look even creepier. Quit tuning or your Gara burns. My heart was racing faster than a Dodge Viper on NOS. Someone knew I was the underground car tuner shaking up Arizona's illegal street racing scene, and they weren't just throwing shade. They were throwing Molotovs. I slammed my phone down, chugging a Red Bull to calm my nerves, but my brain was doing donuts. Was it a rival crew, a snitch, or worse, Jayden or his bad boy twin? Kade? Jayden had been blowing up my life with yacht parties and private jets, but that text came right after I met Kade, with his dark hair and skull tat that screamed trouble. I couldn't shake the vibe that one of them was playing me. The next day at Desert Ridge High, I was a hot mess, dodging Jayden's flirty texts while sneaking glances at Kade in shop class. Mia, my bestie, cornered me at lunch, her glittery nails waving a boba tea, strawberry, my fave. Girl, you look like you got hit by a semi. Spill the tea. What's up with you and the twin hotties? She said, slurping her drink. I sighed, keeping the death threat on the DL. Jayden's all in. But I don't know. Mia, he's a lot. And Kade's in my class now, fixing carbs like he was born in a garage. Mia's eyes lit up. Kade's giving Major Vin Diesel vibes. Ditch Jayden and jump on that. I laughed, but my paranoia was spiking. Mia's been my ride or die since we snuck into a Post Malone concert at 14, but she's been weird lately, always on her phone, dodging my questions. Was she the snitch? After school, I headed to the diner, but Jayden was already there, looking like a GQ cover in a tailored jacket. Riley, let's bounce. I got us VIP passes to a rave at Talking Stick Resort. I hesitated. His world of bottle service and influencers felt like a cage, but I needed to figure him out. Fine, but no jets this time, I said. The rave was wild, strobe lights, bass so loud it rattled my bones. and Jayden pulling me to the dance floor. I tried to vibe, but I felt like a prop in his Insta story, all fake smiles and glitter. Then I saw Kade across the club, leaning against a bar, sipping a Coke, his dark eyes locked on me. My stomach flipped. He nodded, like he knew I was faking it with Jayden. I ditched Jayden mid-song, weaving through sweaty dancers to Kade. "What's your deal?" I asked, crossing my arms. "You're everywhere I go." He smirked, leaning closer. "Maybe I like the view. You don't belong here, Riley. You're not some influencer's arm candy." His words hit hard, and for a second, I felt seen. But before I could reply, Jayden grabbed my arm. "Yo, Kade, back off my girl!" Kade laughed, unfazed. "She's not your property, bro." They squared up, and the crowd started circling, phones out, yelling, "World Star!" I pushed between them. "Both of you, chill. I'm not a prize." Jayden backed down, but Kade just winked and vanished into the crowd. That night, I snuck to the Gara off Route 66, a gritty warehouse lit by flickering LEDs, where my crew tuned rides for the next race. I was tweaking a Mazda RX-7's turbo when the lights cut out. My wrench clattered as I heard footsteps. "Who's there?" I yelled, grabbing a tire iron. A figure in a ski mask lunged, swinging a crowbar. I ducked, adrenaline pumping, and swung the tire iron, clipping their shoulder. They grunted, dropping a spray can, red paint, the same color as a tag I'd seen on a rival cruise cars. They bolted, but not before slashing the RX-7's tires. I was shaking, calling my crew chief. "Tony." "We got hit," I said. "Desert Vipers. They know I'm wrench," Tony cursed. "Lay low. Riley, they're not playing." Back home, I checked my burner app. Another message. "Next time, it's you. Wrench." I was done hiding. At school, I cornered Mia in the parking lot. "You been weird, Mia." "You know about the Gara, don't you?" Her eyes widened. "What? No, I'd never snitch." But her hands were shaky, and she wouldn't look at me. "Then why you dodging me?" I pressed. She stormed off, muttering about trust issues. I was losing everyone. Jayden kept pushing, taking me to a fancy steakhouse in Scottsdale, but I couldn't eat, my mind on the attack. "Riley, you're distant," he said, sipping a $200 wine. "What's wrong?" I snapped. "I don't fit in your world. Jayden, I'm not your trophy." He looked hurt, but I didn't care. Kade, though, he was different. In shop class, we rebuilt an old Chevy engine, and he got my obsession with torque and horsepower. "You're good, Riley," he said, wiping grease off his hands. "Ever race one of these?" My heart skipped. "Maybe." He grinned, like he knew my secret. That night, the Gara was hosting a secret race in the desert, and I had to be there, threat or no threat. I snuck out, but Jayden caught me waiting in his Porsche. "Where are you going, Riley?" "None of your business," I said, but he followed me to the race. A dusty strip lit by car headlights. I was checking a tuned Civic when Kade rolled up in a black Camaro, looking like he owned the night. "You race?" he asked. Before I could answer, a Desert Viper's car, a modded Charger, screamed onto the strip, spraying gravel. The driver, masked, pointed at me. "Wrench, you're done!" They revved, aiming for me. Kade yanked me behind his Camaro as Jayden shouted, "Riley, get in my car!" I froze, caught between them. Then the Viper's car spun out, crashing into a dune, and the driver bailed, tossing a smoke bomb. Coughing, I saw Kade chase the guy, but he vanished. Jayden grabbed me. "What was that about?" I pulled away. "Nothing," but my phone buzzed, a video from the burner app, showing me tuning the Civic, with a message. "We know your crew. Quit, or they're next." My hands shook. Kade returned, out of breath. Lost him. You okay? His concern felt real, but I caught a text on his phone. She's at the race. Move now. My blood ran cold. Was Kade with the Vipers, or was Jayden setting me up? I backed away, heart pounding. I gotta go, I said, bolting for my bike, a tricked-out Kawasaki Ninja. As I sped into the desert night, headlights followed me, closing in fast. My Kawasaki Ninja screamed through the Arizona desert, the Phoenix skyline a faint glow behind me as I gunned it down a dusty back road, my heart pounding harder than a subwoofer at a rave. Headlights chased me, closing in fast, some souped-up Charger, probably the Desert Vipers, the rival crew who'd been threatening to torch my underground Gara and end my life as Wrench, the Valley's slickest car tuner. That last video they sent, showing me modding a Civic with the warning, "Quit or your crew's next," was no bluff. I weaved through cacti, sand kicking up like a TikTok filter gone wrong, but the Charger was glued to my tail, its V8 roaring. Was it Kade, the dark-haired twin whose text I'd seen? She's at the race. Move now. Or Jayden, the golden boy who kept me caged in his bougie world? Or worse, were they both in on it? I couldn't trust anyone, not even Mia. My bestie, who'd been acting shadier than a used car lot. The Charger swerved, clipping my rear wheel, and I nearly ate dirt. "Back off, jerk!" I yelled, voice lost in the wind. I hit the nitrous, my bike surging like a rocket, and lost them in a canyon turn, pulling behind a boulder to kill my lights. My hands shook as I checked my phone. Another burner app message. "Nice ride, Wrench. Meet us at Red Rock Quarry, midnight. Come alone, or Mia pays." My stomach dropped. Mia? How'd they get her? I texted her, but no reply. I was out of moves. Red Rock Quarry was a sketchy gravel pit 20 miles out, a hotspot for illegal races and deals. I had 2 hours to get there, and no backup. Jayden's texts were piling up. "Riley, where are you? I'm worried," but I ignored him. Kade, though, he'd saved me at the race, but that text on his phone had me shook. I needed answers. I sped to the underground Gara off Route 66, where my crew was patching up the Mazda RX-7 trashed by the Viper's attack. Tony, my crew chief, was welding, sparks flying like a 4th of July show. "Riley, your nuts coming here after that hit," he said, lifting his visor. "They've got Mia," I said, showing him the message. "I'm going to Red Rock." Tony grabbed my arm. "It's a trap. Kid. Vipers play dirty." I shrugged him off. "It's Mia. I'm not losing her." He sighed, tossing me a GPS tracker. "Stick this on your bike. We'll tail you, but keep it low-key." I nodded, but my gut was screaming this was a one-way trip. At school the next day, I was a zombie, chugging monster energy and dodging Jayden's puppy dog eyes. Kade was in shop class, tweaking a carburetor, his skull tat peeking from his sleeve. I cornered him. "You know about the Vipers, don't you? That text on your phone, what's 'move now' mean?" His eyes narrowed. "You hacked my phone? Real classy. Riley." "Answer me," I snapped. He leaned close, voice low. "I'm not your enemy. I was warning a friend to get you out of that race. Vipers are bad news." I wanted to believe him, but his vibe was too smooth, like a car with a hidden leak. "If you're lying, I'm done," I said, storming off. That night, I rode to Red Rock Quarry, the desert air biting my face. The quarry was a moonlit maze of gravel piles and rusted machinery, the kind of place where you'd film a post-apocalyptic music video. I parked my Ninja, the GPS tracker blinking under the seat, and crept toward a flickering bonfire. Mia was there, tied to a chair, her glittery nails catching the light as she struggled. "Riley, run!" she yelled. Too late. A dozen Vipers stepped out, led by a guy in a red mask, his voice distorted like a cheap Halloween prop. "Wrench, you've been a pain in our side." He held up a tablet, streaming live footage of my Gara, my crew working, oblivious. One call, and it's ashes. My knees buckled. What do you want? Red Mask laughed. Your client list. Every racer you've tuned for. Hand it over. Or Mia's done. I clenched my fists. My list was on a USB in my pocket. Names, cars, bets. Giving it up would burn every bridge in the underground. But Mia's eyes were pleading. Before I could decide, a viper grabbed me, zip-tying my wrists. Time's up, Red Mask said, raising a gun. Then, tires screeched. A black Camaro, Kade's, barreled in, scattering vipers like bowling pins. He jumped out, swinging a crowbar, and took down 2 guys before they tackled him. Riley, go! He shouted, blood trickling from his lip. I broke free, grabbing a loose wrench from the ground and clocked a viper in the jaw. Mia screamed as Red Mask dragged her toward a van. I sprinted after them, but a viper tripped me, my face hitting gravel. That's when Jayden's Porsche roared in, headlights blinding. He leaped out, tackling Red Mask, but the guy threw him off like a rag doll. Stay down, rich boy! Red Mask snarled. Jayden groaned, clutching his ribs. I crawled to Mia, cutting her ties with a shard of glass. Riley, I'm sorry, she whispered. They forced me to snitch. I gave them your burner number. My heart shattered. Mia, my bestie, sold me out? Why? I choked. They threatened my family. She sobbed. Before I could process, Kade broke free, shoving Red Mask into the van's door. Riley, get Mia out! He yelled. I hauled Mia to my bike, but Red Mask recovered, firing a shot that grazed Kade's arm. He grunted, collapsing. I screamed, but Tony's crew rolled in, pickups and bikes surrounding the Vipers. Red Mask bolted, his van peeling out. Tony's guys grabbed the remaining Vipers, but my eyes were on Kade, blood soaking his sleeve. You okay? I asked, tearing my sleeve to wrap his arm. He smirked, wincing. Been better. Told you I'm not the bad guy. Jayden staggered over, bruised. Riley, I tried to help. I love you. I shook my head. You don't get me. Jayden, Kade does. His face fell, but I didn't care. Mia was crying, and I couldn't look at her. As Tony's crew cleaned up, Kade pulled me aside. I need to tell you something. My dad, he's tied to the Vipers. He funds their races. My jaw dropped. What? Kade's eyes darkened. I've been trying to take them down. That's why I'm here. Plot twist of the century. Was Kade my hero or a pawn in his dad's game? Sirens wailed, cops, tipped off by the gunfire. I grabbed my bike, Kade climbing on behind me. We're not done, he whispered, his arms around my waist. As we sped off, a text hit my burner. Wrench, you can't hide. We're coming for you and your twin. My blood ran cold. They knew about Kade. My Kawasaki Ninja roared through the Arizona desert, Kade's arms tied around my waist as we fled Red Rock Quarry, the wail of cop sirens fading behind us. My heart was doing 200 BPM, not just from the chase, but from Kade's bombshell. His dad, some big-shot Phoenix real estate mogul, was bankrolling the Desert Vipers, the same crew trying to burn my life as wrench to the ground. That last burner app text, Wrench, you can't hide, we're coming for you, and your twin, had me shook. They knew Kade was with me. And Mia's betrayal, snitching my burner number to the Vipers, still stung like a bad tattoo. Jayden's bruised ego and his I love you were just noise now. Kade was the one who got me, grease, gears, and all, but his dad's ties to the Vipers made me question everything. Was he really my ride or die, or was I racing into a trap? We ditched the bike behind a 7-Eleven off Interstate 17, ducking into the neon-lit parking lot to catch our breath. Kade winced, blood seeping through the makeshift bandage on his arm from the quarry gunshot. You good? I asked, my voice shaky. He smirked, all cocky despite the pain. Takes more than a bullet to stop me, Riley. His dark eyes held mine, and for a second, I forgot the chaos. Then my burner phone buzzed, a video of my Gara, flames licking the walls, my crew scrambling. Last warning, wrench. The message read, Race at Devil's Canyon, 3 a.m., win. You're free. Lose, you're done. My knees buckled. Devil's Canyon was a death trap, a twisty desert road where racers had wiped out for good. They're burning my Gara, I whispered. Kade grabbed my shoulders. We'll stop them. Riley. I know their play. They want your client list to take over the scene. His jaw tightened. My dad's been using the Vipers to launder money. I've been gathering proof to take him down. My head spun. Kade, an undercover vigilante? Why should I trust you? I snapped. Your family's the problem. He pulled out a USB drive. This has bank records, texts, everything. Help me. And we end this. I wanted to believe him, but doubt gnawed at me. We hit a motel in Glendale, a sketchy spot with flickering neon signs. To plan, I hacked the Viper's burner app, tracing their signal to a warehouse in Tempe. Kade patched his arm with a first aid kit, his skull tat flexing as he worked. You ever race, Riley? He asked, smirking. Not just tune? I grinned, despite the panic. Once or twice? You? He laughed. Let's just say I've got a rep. His vibe was electric, like we were two parts of the same engine. By 2 a.m., we were at Devil's Canyon, a moonlit death strip lined with Viper's cars, Chargers, GTRs, all modded to hell. My crew had salvaged a tuned Subaru WRX from the Gara fire, its blue paint gleaming. Tony handed me the keys. You sure about this, kid? I nodded, slipping on my leather jacket. For Mia, for the crew. Mia was safe now, hiding with Tony's guys, but her betrayal still burned. The Viper's leader, Red Mask, stepped up, his distorted voice chilling. Wrench, you race our champ. Win, you walk. Lose, we own you and your list. Their champ rolled up, a blacked-out Hellcat driven by Jayden. My jaw dropped. You're with them? I yelled. He smirked, leaning out the window. You picked the wrong twin. Riley, I've been running Viper bets since you started tuning. Dad's in deep, and I'm cashing out. Kade cursed, lunging, but Vipers held him back. My blood boiled. Jayden, the golden boy, was a snake. The race was on. Me versus Jayden. 3 laps through the canyon's hairpin turns. Spectators lined the cliffs, phones out, streaming live on some shady app. I floored the WRX, its turbo screaming as Jayden's Hellcat roared beside me. Dust choked the air, rocks pinging my windshield. Lap 1, I took the lead, drifting a corner like I was born for it. Jayden rammed my bumper, trying to spin me out. You're done, Riley, he shouted. I gritted my teeth, holding the line. Lap 2, a Viper threw spikes on the road, puncturing my tires. I fishtailed, barely staying upright, but my cruise mods held. Kade's voice crackled through a stolen Viper comms unit. Riley, you got this. Use the shortcut. I remembered, a hidden trail from my tuning days. I veered off, bouncing through a dry wash, gaining seconds. Jayden followed, but his Hellcat was too heavy, scraping rocks. Final lap, neck and neck. My WRX overheating. Jayden swerved, forcing me toward a cliff. I yanked the wheel, skidding inches from the edge, then floored it, crossing the finish line first. The crowd roared, but Vipers swarmed me. Red Mask grabbed my arm. List! Now! Kade broke free, tackling him, and my crew charged in. Fists flying, I yanked the USB, my client list, and smashed it under my boot. Game over! I said. Cops screeched in, lights flashing. Tony's crew had tipped them off. Jayden bolted, but Kade tackled him, cuffing him with zip ties. "You're done, bro," Kade growled. Red mask unmasked, a greasy dude named Vince, arrested on the spot. The Vipers scattered, but cops nabbed most. My Guerra was saved. The fire contained. A week later, I was chilling at a Sonic drive-in on Camelback Road, sipping a cherry limeade, Kade across from me in a black tee, his arm healed. "Heard you're a free woman," he said, smirking. I grinned. "Free, but grounded till I'm 30. Cops let me off with a warning, helped that I turned over your dad's USB. His dad was facing charges, thanks to Kade's evidence. Jayden and Mia, too, for conspiracy. "I'm done tuning," I said. "Time to race legit." Kade took my hand. "How about racing with me? Partners, not pawns." My heart revved. "Deal." He kissed me, the desert sunset painting us gold. But as we left, my burner phone, thought I'd trashed it, buzzed in my pocket. A text from an unknown number. "Wrench is dead, but Kade's past isn't. Ask about Vegas." My pulse spiked. Vegas! Kade caught my look. "What's wrong?" I forced a smile, pocketing the phone. "Nothing." But as we walked, his hand in mine, I couldn't shake the vibe that Kade's secrets were a race I hadn't won yet. "Ito. Thanks for racing with me, fam. This story's about breaking free and trusting your gut, even when the road's rough." Loved the twists? Hit like, subscribe, and tell your crew. Stay fast, stay real. Catch you next time.